Hey, Robin Robbins here. It's been a little while since I did a video blog, so I thought I'd share something with you that was kind of cool that happened at a Producers Club meeting that we had back here in January. And that is Michael Oher stopped by to say hi to everybody. He's kind of arranged through St. Jude's. We're a big St. Jude Children's Hospital supporter. I have a goal to raise $1 million for St. Jude's, and we made a big donation last year. And so just through them, Michael Oher was in town, and we decided to have him come over. Now, in case you're going like, who the heck is this guy? Michael Oher played for the Tennessee Titans. He actually won a Super Bowl when he was with the Baltimore Ravens. And the thing that might make him more famous is the fact that he is the guy that the movie The Blind Side was based on. You remember the football movie with Sandra Bullock, The Blind Side, and it was about how he overcame some incredible difficulties in his life. And it's absolute the truth. He did come from a really rough background. His father was murdered when he was young. His mother was on drugs. If you read his book, I think it starts out, the first line is, if you know where your next meal is coming from, you're not poor. So for him to overcome these unbelievable difficulties in his life and to be surrounded by nothing but violence and gangs and negativity, and yet he goes on to win a Super Bowl, is a pretty amazing thing. So he's a real shy guy. He was a total sweetheart. And I got to interview him just for about 20 minutes at my Producers Club meeting. And like I said, he's kind of a shy guy. He's not a professional speaker, but I think he shared some things during that meeting that you'll get a lot out of, from overcoming obstacles to how to prepare and practice and be the best at what you do, no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what your handicaps are or the challenges that you're faced with. So anyway, following this little intro is going to be that video with Michael. Please be sure to share this if you like it. Post a comment below the video. And anyway, so there you go. Enjoy the video with Michael. All right, so we've got a special guest for you all. Michael Oher. How many of you are familiar with him? Tennessee Titan, right? Okay. And won a Super Bowl. I mean, how appropriate it is that we're having him here today. He wrote a book, though. The thing that I'm very interested in learning from him is he has a book. It's called I Beat the Odds: From Homelessness to the Blind Side and Beyond. And when we found out he was coming, I didn't get a chance to read his whole book, but I read parts of it. And the book opens up with this sentence, and it really is very impactful, and it says, "You're not poor if you know where your next meal is coming from." And if you think about it, how much we are blessed, and no matter what's going on in your life, and I know we all have challenges and difficulties and so forth, but sometimes we don't think about the blessings that we have. And Michael's story is just one, it's just amazing. I mean, I'll let him tell his background and his story, but to go from where he was as a child to be able to becoming a world-class athlete, a very generous person. And he's here, by the way, on behalf of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So he's a very generous, yes. So very, very generous. So and that's why here. So let's bring him up. Michael, you want to come on up? Do we have some traveling music for him, perhaps, maybe? Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Are you going to be okay?
So it took me a little longer.
What happened there?
I had surgery on this.
You had surgery? Oh, my goodness.
It took me a little longer to get up here, so.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll wait for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So, wow, where do I start? Why don't you... You tell a little bit, maybe give most of the people, have you guys seen the Blind Side movie? Right. Do you get ever sick of hearing that question?
It's so inspirational where, I don't, get bothered by it anymore.
Okay.
But, I grew up in Memphis. I'm one of 12 kids, and, you kind of know the base of the story, but, I was homeless, a majority of my time growing up. And, the thing for me, to get to this point was, as I got older and, I started seeing the same cycle, year in and year out. You got the, being homeless, being around violence, being around drugs, not having, food at night. And I got tired of that cycle. And, I wanted to break it and get out of it. And I think that's what, made me the man I am, made me want to, do what I, start to, be something positive, in life.
Right.
Everybody, I didn't know anybody, doing things positive. But,
You didn't have any role models.
I didn't have any role models. So, I had to, I guess it was, the grace of God, also, just choosing me. I ask him all the time, why did you choose me? And, I think, I do these, motivational things. I go St. Jude, go to girls and boys clubs and things like that because, I think I was sent here, to inspire and give people hope. So.
Right. Is that why you wrote the book?
That's exactly why I wrote the book because, The Blind Side, great movie, inspired so many people. But, I think it was, it didn't, I think one that's just, I have a little bit a slightly bit better personality. I've always known how to play football.
Right.
And, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. And I was kind of, should I do it or shouldn't I? And, I started getting letters from, basically all over the world.
Really?
I would start, opening them up, reading them. And, people were saying how I changed their life and how I gave them hope. And, I'm doing this because of you. I was heading down the wrong path, but now, if you can do it, I can do it. So, I decided, hey, let me go back, tell, my story from day one, give them a glimpse of, really how tough it was and how, you see on the blind side that, I love my family. Leanne, she was up here the other day,
She was on TV. I was actually up in the room, at the break, and she was on TV showing how she cooks, like, Super Bowl, like, snacks or something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, wow.
I was thinking she probably went to the store and bought them and
took
them home, but something like that. But I don't remember a lot of those.
I don't know.
I don't remember a lot of those cooking, but, and she didn't teach me how to play football, by the way, so she didn't. And, that's one of the things, the blind, stuff like that. So, that's the reason I, wrote the book, just to, give people a start and just to motivate people.
Right, okay. So tell a little bit about your childhood so they can really understand. Your first memory, I think I was reading correctly in the book, was you were 2 years old, walking down a street. Yeah. When I read the book, I was like, wow. It's an environment, a reality that I don't think many people in the room here are even aware that it goes on. Do you know what I mean? So kind of paint that a little bit for me.
It is crazy. That is my first memory. People say, how can you remember back that far? But, when you have so many of those memories, those bad memories, it almost becomes, your only memories of childhood, staying in sheds and things like that. Right. And, like I said, just having those memories and, that being a continuous cycle of, having to, go bum for food everywhere and not having to just, I remember me and my brothers, we were walking on the highway just trying to find shelter somewhere.
Is that your earliest memory? You were just walking down
walking down the highway, and that's the earliest, memory for me. And it's a negative one, but I think it has helped me, throughout life. And every day, right now I wake up, I feel blessed, and just it's an honor for me to be, right here. It's crazy, it's surreal, and I'll always be grateful.
You were shot at. There was a gang fights. You guys were kind of left to fend for yourself for days at a time.
Yeah, like I said, that's, I was told somebody this the other day, and, I'm just, glad that, I could tell my story, because this goes on, every single day, and, now with social media and, seeing so much, I follow all the news outlets in Memphis, and on my social media, and I read so much, violence and kids getting into things. It goes on. A shootout, for me was growing up. We treated it like a Western. Sat on the porch and just watched it, and that's the thing. I got tired of it. And, wanted to get out, wanted to change.
So how were you able to make that change, though? I mean, you go from this environment, no real role models.
Yeah.
I mean, why you? I mean, was it just this burning desire, or was there a coach? Was there somebody? I mean, how did you get out of that?
Well, my outlet was sports. I grew up a big Michael Jordan fan, a big Dallas Cowboy fan. And, I kind of figured, in order for me to get where these guys are, I'm going to have to do what's right. And, I've always been had a strong burning drive inside of me to succeed. Growing up, I never, hung around the drug dealers. I had friends that, we didn't do drugs. We didn't do any of that stuff. And, I knew, for that, if I stay away from these things and stay on a, right path, maybe, I can get, be successful in life. And, it wasn't that, me trying to get to the NFL or the NBA. I was basically just trying to, if it was getting 2 or 3 jobs working minimum wage, graduating high school, it wasn't, all this stuff is plan B for me. It was just, not being a part of that cycle and, doing something positive in life. It really wasn't about professional sports for me.
Okay, yeah. So guys, if you have questions, if I'm kind of leading here, but if any of you have questions, go ahead and go to a mic, and love to hear that. Any questions you have. So you won a Super Bowl. It's like fast forward. Like, I mean, do you like lay in bed at night and think like, how the hell? I mean, it's got to just blow your mind a little bit, yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest game ever.
Yeah.
Growing up, you want to get to that game.
Right.
We used to play football on the side of, in fields, and, every year, we had a Super Bowl game. So,
Right.
It was, to win it and to be the world champion, it was amazing, an amazing experience. But, I haven't looked at, my ring since, it was ring ceremony, because, I'm trying to win another ring. That snow's melted, as my dad, Sean, would say.
Right,
and, just trying to move on, trying to win and another one, and hopefully it's tough, but
Yeah.
It's a amazing deal though.
What was the best part about winning it, and what was the worst part about winning it?
I don't think it's a worst part, but the best part is just being there and just being a part of it. The entire game, you're just in awe, and we came up short a few years, the years before, and to finally get there, like I said, it was an amazing thing, and it's awesome.
Did anything surprise you about it? I mean, just like you win it, was there anything that sort of, maybe not the worst thing, but anything you were surprised about?
That's the Super Bowl.
Right.
If you can get to the Super Bowl, I mean, everything is, A1. It's a dream come true, and not too many people win a Super Bowl. And for me, just coming from where I came from, and the road that I had to take, playing in any game in the NFL, for me, every game is just unbelievable. And every time I walk on the field, I have to pinch myself.
Right,
to
right.
be in the Super Bowl,
Right.
That's another thing.
So what does it take to be the best? I mean, obviously it is the Super Bowl, and we're talking about a very competitive environment where there are excellent athletes who all want to, like you said, just even stepping to the field.
Right.
What does it take to be that champion?
For me, I kind of, throughout the year, 365 days, because, in professional sports and sports period, so many people are, trying to get where you are. You got millions, millions. And when I started on the journey of, trying to become a, professional athlete or get into college and things like that, every day, I would get up, 6, 7 o'clock, going to the basketball court, just running around, just working out every single day. And, I had the mentality that, if I'm not doing it, it's probably 1,000 other people that are doing it.
They're waking up doing it, right?
They're probably, it's going to be people out there a lot better than I am, because I grew up, there was so many guys that, had more talent than I had. They were faster, stronger, but they weren't putting in the work that I was putting in. Mm-hmm. And I continue to see this, every day and throughout coming up through sports. Mm-hmm. Everybody, it's going to be guys out there that's better, smarter, but, are they going to, think about it 365 days? Are they going to work at it 365 days?
Right.
And, I think that's the main thing, is just outworking the next person.
Right.
That's what it boils down to, especially nowadays. Everybody has talent. Right. Everybody's gifted.
Right.
But are you going to, have the heart, and are you going to, put the work in to get the job done at the end of the day?
I love it. All right. Question?
Hey, Michael, Richard James here.
How's it going?
I know that the movies are embellished, but I've got this question I just got to know the truth about. So, in that movie, there was a scene where
You're
you
not
took
going to embarrass me, are you?
No.
Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I'm a guest of Robin, so I better not embarrass her, right? Yeah. There's a scene where you take this guy who's driving you nuts on the field, and you block him all the way to the end, and you throw him over the edge, and then you come back and you say to the coach, he just had to go home, coach, right, or something like that. How true was that?
Well, that's fairly, accurate. I didn't take I didn't take him all the way to the bus. I took him to the sideline. His teammates was over there.
Yeah.
And, I drove him into his teammates, and, all of them jumped on me. They jumped on my back and got him off me. But, I did take him. I was trying to take him to the bus. I wanted to take him as far as I could until somebody stopped me. And, it's true, except for, throwing him over the fence. I was probably 10 feet away from the fence, though.
You would have thrown him over the fence had you had the opportunity to.
If no one stopped me, I don't know how far we would have gone. I was on a roll. I was on a good roll.
I love it that's true. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Michael, I'm Bill Goff. I'm a Titan season ticket holder.
Okay.
And
I see.
And then also, of course, I was there when the Ravens used to kick our ass, too. So, anyway, congratulations. And Ozzie Newsome's from my hometown, so.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to know, what Robin's doing here, obviously, is she is a big head coach and her team of coaches to these people have taken their lives to another level. What I wanted to ask you about was what have coaches done for you, and if you could expand on that just a little bit. And I'll give you a chance to think about it just a second, because I also want to pay tribute to our host here this weekend, because Robin, this has been, especially for me and the guys back at the back table, we have heard about what you've done, and now we're here seeing it live, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and I think I speak on probably behalf of everybody in the room of what you've done for their lives as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm getting applause from you. Very special. That's a great question about the coaches. Yeah, I would love to know what makes a good coach.
I don't want to put any coaches on the spot or anything, but
Well, you don't have to talk about the bad ones.
Yeah, or just in general, just what makes a good coach. And
for me, everything. I always tell people, everything. I'm a big technique person, and technique is everything to me. And one way you get to the best, you got to practice at it, and you got to prepare for it. And I think to answer your question, dealing with this coaching, you guys being the team, and same thing with us. I think preparing, not just, practice, the preparation for it. If your preparation is poor, you're going to get poor results on game day when it's time to close your deals. And I think, I've won a lot of games in the NFL, and I think the reason I won those games because we out-prepared a lot of guys, a lot of teams, and we weren't the most talented, like I said, but we got the fundamentals down every day. We walk through things as groups all the time, and spend hours on hours in the meeting room just preparing. just getting the techniques down in the little things. And in the professional world, the little things that's what wins. You know, like I said, everybody's going to be talented, but if you're doing the little things, you're getting your fundamentals down, your techniques, that's what's going to win. You can win, you know, your games and you guys, you know, world. And if you prepare, you know, that's the only thing. Just doing those little things.
That's awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Hey, we have a virtual question from our virtual viewers. Gareth wants to know, how do you keep yourself at your best every day, week, year? Do you have a morning routine? Do you talk yourself in the mirror? What do you do?
Well, like I said, you know, I'm always thinking about what I have to do next. You know, Monday I'm starting a month-long, diet and challenging myself. You know, no bad foods, no sugars, all water for the entire month. Just things like that. I'm always thinking about what can I do to get better. And yeah, I mean, I look at myself in the mirror. I hadn't been able to run because I got this injured foot right now. But I'm kind of I'm not where I want to be right now. So I'm always thinking about what can I do. So I'm starting on Monday. I'm starting a challenge. A month-long challenge of challenging myself to just continue to get better and continue to better myself. So, I mean, I think one of the most important things is just not being outthought, just always thinking about what you got to do next. I think that's one of the most important things. People, you get complacent. I think you got to stay humble at the end of the day. Always know that, it's somebody behind you that's, coming for you, and they're on your heels, and you gotta keep, running as fast as you can.
Thank you. Great answer.
A similar sort of question, but and thank you very much for being here. And a lot of people are obviously very inspired by you, but no one kind of gets to a level and just stays there, always looking to improve and stuff. So who, obviously beyond Leanne, is your inspiration now, and why does that person inspire you?
My inspiration now, dealing in the profession I'm in, football, NFL. You get so many naysayers. You get so many people that don't know a lick about what you do and don't understand what it takes, and they're not in the rooms with you. And just for me, I've always had to prove people wrong throughout my entire life. So even now, just proving, and for myself too, at the end of the day, knowing that I can get better in everything that I do, and just continuing to, prove people wrong, because, throughout my life, so many people always said that I wasn't going to make it. And, just continue to prove them wrong, continue to, prove myself wrong, because it was times, when it got tough, when I said that, man, I'm not going to make it, I'm just going to give up. So just continue to, prove myself wrong, and, all the doubters, I think that's the motivation that I have every day.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think it was Oprah Winfrey said she wakes up every day and she says, I don't compete against other people, I compete against myself. Yeah. Like every day I'm thinking, how do I get to that next level? And that sounds like kind of the way you think.
That's the most, because, like I said, not, getting complacent and, staying humble, within yourself.
Yeah, I know. The minute you start thinking you got it all, then someone comes and blindsides you, right? I'd just say it's so easy. All right, one more question.
I have a simple question. How you manage stress and keep focus?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thanks.
That's good, because, this is a stressful business I'm in, and, for me, I deal with it just, going to the gym, just going to work out or something, or, I've always been a positive person throughout my life. Just not letting anything get you down. For me, just staying positive all the time, and, it's, you have to be mentally, I think that I'm a mentally strong person, and, you just got to stay mentally tough, and just staying positive, what I try to do most of the time.
All right, so I got one more question for you. I know you're a big supporter of St. Jude's, and just so you guys know, the generosity of this gentle giant up here, we had $50,000 that we could have paid him to be here, and he wanted 100% of it, not even a stipend, he wanted 100% of it to St. Jude's, so, you know, you've raised $50,000 for them. So, yeah, there you go. Very good, very good. So, just why St. Jude? I mean, they're in Memphis, so maybe that's it. But you've toured the hospital.
Yeah, I got a chance to go up there back in the spring and spend some times with the kids. And you know, I've always seen it on TV growing up. And the projects that I grew up in, we actually could always see St. Jude. From my projects I grew up in. And I always wondered, what went on over there, what was it like? I always saw the, Ronald McDonald House down the street and stuff like that. And, when I went and visited those kids, I mean, it was, extraordinary how they kept smiles on their faces and the things that they were dealing with and going through every day. It was truly amazing. I thought that, I was tough and I was just, strong guy that, can deal with things. But what they're going through is, I don't know if I could handle it. So I really want to continue to be a big part of St. Jude and just always visit the kids, when I have time, and because, they truly put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It was amazing. One of the greatest times I've ever had visiting, kids. So I think that was, the reason, for me, wanting to do it and give back.
All right, great, great. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to hang out for a little bit for photos, right? Okay. And so if you guys want to get a photo with Michael, all I'm going to ask is that you would be willing to make some small donation to St. Jude, because they're here. And, if you got, whatever, $1 or $2, I mean, if you have more, obviously, but if you don't mind just making a small donation to St. Jude, and then you can get a picture with him. Is that cool? Can we all? No? Okay, great. See, I have a goal. I want to raise $1 million for St. Jude, so I'm working on it.
Well, I'm glad to be able to help.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
appreciate you guys.